What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Stardust here. Welcome back to another video here on the YouTube channel. And today we have an absolutely insane Hulk build for you. Before I get started, make sure to like down below. Make sure to press that subscribe button because this build is insane. And of course, make sure to share it to all of your friends as well. Now, I was messing about with some gear pieces and I managed to, get this build going, and I really like it. And yeah, okay, maybe it's not necessarily something that can smash bosses in 2 seconds, but I mean, it definitely could, and I'll explain why as we go through the gears. So what I'm going to do is, what I like to do for my build videos, as always, is I like to, we'll put it on brutal, doesn't matter. I like to go on synthors, I like to go on size 5, just so you guys get a chance to see what I'm doing with it. And then I'm going to show you exactly what this is. So, I'll pop my heroics. I'm going to pop all of them, by the way. Every single one. Right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold rage. Boom. They're all back. This is ridiculous. So, essentially, what this build is, for anyone who hasn't sort of been able to gather, is it's an insane way to not only get heroics back, but as you're going to see in a minute, spam takedowns, farm those heroic orbs. It is essentially Hulk's version of Brooklyn Brawler that I've created here. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it is disgusting. And yeah, damage-wise, you know what? It can still be really good. And, in a minute, I'm about to show you gear-wise. But we'll just go through this, wave right here. And then I'll give you guys a chance to look at what I'm doing, and then I'll show you a full, uninterrupted gameplay session where I just mute myself and we go ham with it, ladies and gentlemen. So, in order to get this, what I managed to do was I found a very specific gear piece, and it's this one right here. Now, 3.2% increased heroic charge rate when rage is active. Now, this definitely is overtuned and not accurate to what is written, so make sure to do this as soon as humanly possible, because this could get nerfed at any moment, and they would have fair right to do it, at least in my opinion. Before I get into that, here are the stats. Stats aren't great. I want way more Valor. Like, I want to replace this might entirely for Valor. I want one of these on that, right? But anyway, as we get through this, Faultless Pulse, chance a melee critical attack triggers an explosion, it increases the stun meter. You'll notice that when I was attacking enemies with my large debris, there was, a little sparkle there. That is the stun meter, which obviously will help stun the enemies a little bit quicker. It's not a necessity. You can really have whatever you want in this, in my honest opinion. The stun meter on this never really did a lot for the build when I was using it in, like, normal missions and stuff like that. This one right here, now, before you guys get a bit worried that this is a discordant sound piece, I want you to know that as long as you get large debris on Sonic, you're fine. Right, you're absolutely fine. You just won't be able to get Valor on it, which obviously isn't the best when you're wanting to spam those heroics. The Faultless buff, again, could be on this piece if you really wanted to, but again, you are sacrificing a little bit of Valor. But a damage buff isn't really necessary, in my opinion, unless you're really wanting to try and, like, two-shot some bosses with your heroics. Right here, Valor and Might, the perks, not really a big deal for me. 46.2% chance parrying incoming attacks, granting intrinsic burst. I'm going to be dodging a lot, because when I do this move right here, right, when I dodge, I'm holding rage and I'm just pressing circle, and Hulk does like this little dodge attack, right? So naturally you're going to be, parrying quite a bit by pressing rage. You're also going to be dodging and stuff like that. So, there's a good chance that every so often you might hit rage at a good time when an enemy's attacking. You get intrinsic burst. But, I mean, ideally, I would like for it to be dodging. You know what I mean? To activate while dodging, but that's something I can find out in the wild. Really, this is a stat stick. But again, this isn't, like, super optimized yet. I just found it, and I thought that this is incredible already, so I wanted to showcase the build. And then, obviously, I've showcased the heroic piece already. You can get this just from your normal threat sectors. Obviously, if you can get a 2-stat roll with Resolve and Valor, that's obviously better, because they'll go even higher than that, and obviously I've already shown these. Now, obviously you want the ring, because you can, increase your amount absorbed. I don't know if there's much of a difference. That's something we can experiment together right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate a thing, and I'm going to see the ring is necessary to get 100%, right? So let's pop all our heroics. All right, we're experimenting together, and then I'm not going to do anything. Right, okay, so the ring does give it 100%, but it's not an absolute necessity. So, I mean, that's okay. I mean, so in that case, then you can pretty much choose whichever you want in that regard, then, unless you want to, get 100% straight back, instantly. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go into our skills tree now. So, first thing we've got is defeat 5 enemies while Bone Shaker is active to instantly refill all intrinsic rage energy. Now, obviously, I want my rage up as much as possible, right? Because what that'll do is that'll allow me to obviously keep getting that heroic up, literally snap one heroic orb and I'm back. But if I'm out of rage, then can't really do that. Also, because I've only got like 99 resolve and no resilience, right? I get hit hard, so it's always good to have that rage active so you can keep healing from the rage. Defeating enemies who are taunted by Bone Shaker causes them to drop heroic orbs. Obviously we want to get as many heroic orbs as possible. If you guys remember, back in the day in Marvel's Avengers, heroics for Hulk were his meta, right? So a lot of what you see here is going to be an extension of that. So 50% chance defeating an enemy will generate a heroic orb, and then obviously we get as many of them as possible. Then we've got this 25% increase in stun and normal damage for Thunderclap, and then 50% chance to defeat enemies with Thunderclap will cause them to drop heroic orbs. And then we've also got this as well, this Epicenter. I don't necessarily know if this works yet, because it seems like I keep taunting them before I do it, but if it doesn't, then just do that one, right? Because obviously enemies who are taunted, will drop heroic orbs anyway, right? So let's go into mastery. So attacks with held enemies are, to be honest, all of this, really irrelevant. I've got to be honest. Like this one, obviously, yeah, takedowns, you want heroic orbs. But besides that, these two are pretty much irrelevant. When it comes to ranged, I've gone for mostly large debris attacks, but I don't really think it matters, because obviously I'm not doing light or heavy attacks with it. I'm also not throwing them. But I just thought, just for safety measure, why not, right? Increases charge rate of all heroics by 15% while rage is active, which obviously, if you mix that in, you see what I'm saying? Like, it is pretty unstoppable. So that is definitely one of the most important pieces of the entire build. Increases all damage by 15% while rage is active. Rage is active pretty much all the time, due to the way I've laid out the build and stuff. Obviously with Sonic as well, very important. And then we've got this one. Reduces the initial cost of triggering rage by 15%. Which is pretty self-explanatory, really. Increases impact while overcharged by 25%, because, obviously I'm only dodging attacking, right? So there's going to be a chance when we get to, like, the bigger enemies that I may struggle a bit with that. But I've tested it in missions, and it's not really an issue. So, in my opinion, you're pretty much free to do whatever you want in this one. Probably go out of these two, though, to be completely honest. Increases all damage by 20% while overcharged. I'm overcharged a lot just due to having Sonic on constantly, but obviously I'm always pressing that rage, right? So, you can, but Stranglehold kind of instantly overcharges you too. So obviously always having those heroics up and constantly strangleholding, it's kind of a constant 20% increase. And then for this one, we've got increase overcharge energy gain from takedown by 50%. We're doing a lot of takedowns. So that is the build, ladies and gentlemen. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to basically shut myself up, and I'm going to have gameplay on in the background of me just going completely ham. So I will be right back. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, that is some gameplay with the build. As I stated before in the start of it, it's definitely not high damage just yet, but as you can clearly see with the exos and adaptoids and then just the normal enemies and stuff, that it definitely just looks like complete hacks with the one heroic orb going crazy and giving me back all my heroics. If you like the build, make sure to share it around, make sure to tell your friends, make sure to like the video and subscribe, and I will see you guys in a bit. Peace.